of let's just go ahead and let's put some basic metadata in there to make it simpler for you to find in the future. Now, what about searching metadata? Well, searching metadata is kind of fun, and we've touched about the controlled vocabulary. That's really kind of the result of all the work that you're doing when you're adding metadata. And I would encourage you to take a look at some of these vocabularies that are available for purchase. One is the controlledvocabulary.com. Another one is keyword-catalog.com. And probably my favorite is the photo-keywords.com. They all have groups. I think the photo keywords has 33,900 controlled words. And I'll show you what it looks like in just a moment. And basically what happens is, and here is one from I believe the controlled vocabulary system. Yeah, this is a controlled vocabulary system, and you can see it's got an activity or an action or a character, and then you can drill down pretty quickly and pick, and in each column just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. The one that I spoke to you about earlier, that photo keywords, it looks like this. You asked a question, who, what, when, where, how, why, or some sort of other specialist. Now you can build your own keywords into this as well, but it's got a prescribed set here. And so when we go to what, well, what are we talking about? Well, maybe we're talking about something like clothing, and if we pick clothing from the list, then, well, maybe we're talking about man's clothing and we're talking about a coat or this type of thing. Now, this is to help you very quickly drill down and attach these keywords so that it makes it simple for you to find. I'm looking for a man's coat, and you could even get the color, etc. However, if Uncle Bub is wearing that coat, then what you're going to want to do is you're also going to want to add some other things about the who. And in that area, you may want to add, there's Uncle Bub, also known as Robert, and you could move on from there as we spoke about earlier. What about editing all this? Well, there's a lot of fields when we talk about metadata, and I'm just going to say this, there's an app for that. If you go out and do a search for metadata editing, and one of the best searches you can look for is EXIF and IPTC metadata editing. If you use that search, you are going to find just a ton of them. Some are free, some you pay for. But I'll show you a couple of examples of some. So this one, if you're in a Windows environment, you totally understand this. This is merely right-clicking, going to your details, metadata, right there, right under the details. I can change it. I can click on that. I can add a tag, and it will go with that photograph moving on. Now, you'll see that it's kind of limited. I don't have all the fields, but I do have some of the very basic ones, okay? Another one would be something like we saw earlier in Photo Mechanic. And in Photo Mechanic, same type of thing, a little bit more extensive. I've got these. You can actually then move through your photographs, save and move forward. You can bulk them together and batch them. You can also redistribute and put them in different orders. I'd like to see this, this, and this first. You can also build your own list as well as import things from some of these controlled vocabularies. So perhaps you want to go to something like the controlled vocabulary, you buy the plugin for your IPTC, it gives you that list, but you can then continue to build on. And this one, this is my EXIF pilot, kind of a raw state. I love it though, because it's really simple to use. I can export everything out, work through it. It makes batching really, really simple for us. And so that's another tool, and you can see it's a little less pretty, I guess you might say, but I can quickly go through and find them and move through them in fast pace. And if you'll notice at the top, I've got my XMP, I've got my IPTC, I've got my EXIF properties, and those are the properties that I'm really going to kind of focus on. Then you can go to Lightroom. So Lightroom is a terrific tool for using metadata. Built on that, I love Lightroom for a couple of reasons. One, you can actually just take your pictures and you can put them up into your catalog, and you can literally, like for instance, I could take all those pictures and drop them into a location on a map physically. It will mark them and show them that this is a selected photo and where it was taken. automatically. So that's a lot of fun when you're working with clients and they go, hey, you know, this was our reunion. We always had it at this park in Burlington, Iowa. Real simple. Great. I found all those. We're just going to take them all and dump them into a location on something like using something like Lightroom. Again, lots of tools, lots of plugins to make your metadata simple and easy to use. But again, you need to have a plan in what's important for you and what's important for the clients moving forward. So I promise it to you.